at Theme Park Academy. I am tour guide Barbie, and today's lesson is Halloween is here, and we're going to give you a Halloween season Orlando COVID wrap-up. Now, it may seem Epcot is an unusual choice for the actual Halloween evening, considering we've got the houses at Universal and all of the Halloween cavalcades at Magic Kingdom. But I figure food and wine going on, this is like the best version of adult trick-or-treating that you pay for. So I snagged these reservations over a month ago, and thank goodness, because as of this week, or actually even before this week, you couldn't get reservations to any of the parks today. So it is pretty busy. Gotta update the social medias with what we're doing. Check out Theme Park Academy on Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube, of course. What other hashtags do people care about? Hashtag Gene Simmons. So Disney, during this time, of course, most of the festivities were happening over at Magic Kingdom. That's where they had the Halloween cavalcades. And that's where a lot of the people, like, they have the themed costumes on the characters, and where they did like a lot of the Halloween decorating. There are Halloween items, like food items, you can find in any of the parks and all of Disney property, even in the hotels, everywhere. But the coolest thing Disney did during this time was allow you to go on property to any park in a costume, which is usually only allowed at Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary. And so I would see lots of people embracing the chance to go to the studios dressed in Star Wars gear or Toy Story. And here at Epcot, even though it's Epcot, you still see people out in costumes everywhere, which is a lot of fun. The bummer about this time, so all my friends have been fired. So it's been a really rough week. We're looking at Facebook at any given time, it's just heartbreaking because yet another person has lost their job. Really hoping a lot of them get to come back. A lot of them have 20, 30, even 40 years in, so it's really heartbreaking. But I know they're doing what they can and trying to get people in here. So overall, as far as coming to the parks, aside from not having Not So Scary, I think this is pretty decent, you know. Being able to dress up is cool. Other than that, it's pretty much just regular Disney. One notable thing that Halloween means is that they are actually open until 10 tonight. So for the first time, pretty much since everything shut down, we are actually going to be in a theme park at night, which is actually my favorite time to be in Epcot. So that's a very exciting thing for tonight. And this also means, since they're open till 10, we get to catch Impression de France. So we're going to go do that right now. So Universal, as expected, since they are basically the dominator of Halloween here in Orlando, they did fairly well. The two houses were very popular on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. The park would fill to capacity. I think it did every single weekend. I know today it definitely is. The two houses were cool. They definitely did everything they could to keep you distant, but then still scary. So it was good. We finally got to do both houses yesterday, which was a lot of fun. But then today, surprise, they opened the Beetlejuice house for just 2 days. And had I known, we could have gone today instead of yesterday. So it's very, very frustrating. I'm gonna try to get there tomorrow and see it because I love the idea of a Beetlejuice house. I think it would be amazing, and I was excited when it was first announced, like last year. So Hopefully I can do it. It's a bummer. It's a bummer it was only for those 2 days and so many people are going to miss out on it. But I know they've had to make a lot of cuts, so I'm sure Universal has their reasons. I just am personally frustrated because I want to see it. What was cool about having the 2 houses running during the daytime is if you have children that are in the tween stage and you're not sure if they're ready for Horror Nights yet, I took my 2 kids. One's 11, one's 13 right now. And this way we could see how they did in the houses without having to actually pay for a full Horror Nights ticket and have them potentially hate it and then want to leave immediately. So with it being daytime and not having the scare zones and all of that, it's way less intense. And we found one of them is definitely ready for Horror Nights and one is not. And it was the older one that is not, funnily enough. But overall, you know, they gave us a tribute store, they gave us some houses, they gave us some Halloween treats, so I do think Universal did all they could. Now, as far as SeaWorld and Busch Gardens, I had predicted SeaWorld would have the opportunity to do really, really well because Spooktacular is already set up pretty decently for social distancing. I can't really talk about it because we tried to go opening day, had an outfit plan, gonna make a whole video, do the whole thing, and 1 hour after it changed to Spooktacular, so 3 hours after park opening, the line just for temperature check went all the way across the parking lot down to the other auxiliary parking lot they have, and it was all in the bright sun, and it's Florida, and it was September, so of course it was going to be ridiculously hot, and so we decided to not go and to try to go back another weekend. And honestly, just with everything else happening and now with the reservations and park hours being so limited, we just weren't able to make it back there. But just from what I've seen on social media and the pictures I've seen and heard, it seemed to have went over really well. They had pretty decent attendance. We did make it a Howl-O-Scream though, which just did scare zones this year. And I did enjoy the event. Of course, it was greatly discounted. What I did not like so much is that Universal, or sorry, no, not Universal. What I didn't like so much is you're in Tampa, you know, Orlando, we have so many theme parks and we're so regulated here. Tampa, it's a totally different world. So even though they did have safety precautions in place, they didn't seem to be taking them as seriously. It was still not so crowded when we went, so we still felt okay, but there were some events that we skipped because they just looked too crowded. But I did enjoy it a lot, so I think they did a pretty good job. But of course, that company's hurting too. SeaWorld's had to lay off quite a bit of their employees as well. So rough times around here, it really is. It's weird to be making a theme park video when so many of my friends are hurting right now, honestly. What I will say, between the 3 parks is Universal and the SeaWorld company, as well as Busch Gardens, did find ways to continue to do shows, whereas Disney has cut most of them. And obviously they don't let me in on their decisions, but it's really a bummer. Like walking around Epcot right now, the Garden Theater is totally dark, which is just weird. Canada Stage is dark. You know, anywhere there's music, and I know they have music other places on Disney property, so it is possible to have it. So it's not a safety issue. It's obviously a budgeting issue or a labor issue. So it's nice to be here, but a little surreal, honestly. In addition to all the theme parks, Orlando did try to do some other new socially distanced activities like the drive-through haunted mazes. The Enzion had, which is a really awesome indie theater here in town, had some really cool special events. SeaWorld showed movies in the parking lot, which they've been doing since they reopened, but they were doing Halloween themed movies. We got to do the Scream and Stream, which you can see the video for that. That was pretty cool. It was just pretty far and a long wait. The other one is the Haunted Road, which we did not get to do, and it unfortunately didn't have the best reception, but I'm, you know, growing pains. It's the first time they attempted an event like that, so I'm sure they learned a lot, and if it happens again, it will be done way better. The one we did, like I said, it was a really cool thing. It was just really far. It was a long time to be in the car, but you know, worked out way better than I thought that it would. Thank you so much for joining us for our Halloween wrap up. Overall, we got to do way more for Halloween this year than I thought we would. Like, we almost had too many activities, which is why we can get videos out for absolutely everything, which is great. But at the same time, everything's hitting the theme parks really, really hard, and I hope that soon the world can start getting back to what it needs to be, and things can be a little, I don't know, I don't want to say normal, I'm kind of over that word, but more tolerable maybe, I don't know. In the most Orlando move ever, the new Christmas Lounge toy is out, and I had to get it as soon as I saw it, because who knows if I'll see it again, because so far it looks like there's only one. And of course, a Christmas bag on Halloween. You can't really get more Orlando theme park than that. Let us know how Halloween is in your neck of the woods. Is it cool? Is it weird? I'm sure it's weird. Are you staying home? Are you going out? What are you doing? Once again, I'm Tour Guide Barbie. This is Theme Park Academy. Class dismissed.
What are you about to do?
What do you mean? Eat my crepe. Like a good wife of a Frenchman. There's a hair somewhere on the inside of my mask, and it's driving me crazy. Hopefully I got it. Ugh. No! Duh! Ugh. Wood. I don't know what else to say.